Behind evil, there is a person. In fact, there is a whole host of evil spirit beings, vast hosts of spirits, evil spirits in the spirit world. We're not dealing with the world of the senses. We're dealing with another world.
The spirit of narcissism. Is it possible the source of narcissism comes from evil spirits who live in the high places? The word narcissism comes from the Greek god Narcissus. He was the son of a river god and he was distinguished for his beauty. And he loved no one till he saw his own reflection in water and fell in love with that. Narcissus is sometimes called the god of vanity because he became obsessed with his reflection and beauty. Narcissism is an excessive interest in or admiration of oneself and one's physical appearance. Narcissism is also characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy for others, a need for excessive admiration, and the belief that one is unique and deserving of special treatment. If you encounter someone who consistently exhibits these behaviors, you may be dealing with a highly narcissistic individual. One of the most accurate portrayals of a narcissist in fiction is Patrick Bateman from the movie American Psycho. Patrick Bateman is a wealthy investment banker who is obsessed with his appearance, his material possessions, and his social status. He is also a serial killer who murders people for no apparent reason. Narcissists are known to be obsessed with their appearance. They are known to be very preoccupied and obsessed with one's physical appearance and sexual attractiveness. A narcissist will overvalue and spend a lot of time and money on appearance. We see this in the beginning of the movie American Psycho, which is the film's most iconic scene. The opening scene of the movie shows Patrick Bateman's rigorous routine. Every morning he starts off his day with various exercises. Then he uses over 10 different hygiene products, which shows his obsession with physical appearance. Aside from narcissism, Patrick Bateman is also suspected to have antisocial personality disorder and possibly dissociative identity disorder. And we see this being manifested with a quote that he says in the beginning of the movie. There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman, some kind of abstraction, but there is no real me, only an entity, something illusory. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there. According to research, narcissistic people aren't just full of themselves, but they are more likely to be aggressive and violent. In American Psycho, Patrick Bateman murders women mostly for sadistic sexual pleasure, and he kills men because they upset or annoy him or make him feel inferior. Patrick Bateman is the perfect textbook definition of a narcissist. He is vain, narcissistic, materialistic, and shallow. He cares for nothing but his own gratification, and by his own admission, has no real personality beneath his attractive exterior. In the film, he claims that his only emotions are greed and disgust. Many of us have experienced narcissistic people in different kinds of environments. A common place where people deal with narcissistic people is relationships. You can find narcissists in church leaderships, in the workplace, in school, in the fitness industry, in the beauty industry. Now, the one environment I really want to focus on when dealing with narcissistic people is relationships. Even though you can experience narcissistic people in any place, such as the workplace, the church, school, and friendships, in my view, the most dangerous and damaging place that you can experience a narcissist is in a relationship, because that's who you spend the most time with, especially in marriage. I'm going to talk about some of the dark manipulation tactics that narcissists love to use. Narcissists are master manipulators, and they will use your emotions against you. Many men and women have unfortunately been manipulated by narcissists, because as I've stated, they are master manipulators, and one of the first techniques they use to get someone to fall in love with them is known as love bombing. Love bombing is a way to establish control over another person. It can make you feel guilty or ungrateful if you're at odds with your partner. You might go against your initial instincts because you feel you owe it to them to do what they want. Love bombing is a form of emotional abuse. Like all forms of abuse, it's about establishing control and power over someone else. Love bombing typically takes place during a courtship phase that can last days or weeks. It may even last for months if you seem more resistant. Love bombing often involves compliments, gifts, and lots of attention in the beginning stages. The person will want to be in contact with you all the time, which may seem flattering, but this is often not the case. As the behavior evolves, love bombing may push for you to make early commitments, while at the same time becoming upset if you try to establish boundaries. Another dark psychological manipulation technique that is combined with love bombing is the push and pull method. Narcissists will use the push-pull manipulation method as a way to constantly have you craving their validation. This manipulation technique causes your brain to constantly seek validation and acknowledgement from them and have a low feeling when you don't get it. Then your brain becomes addicted to the high, the endorphins released when the brain regains stability from their reply, which is keeping the victim attached with minimal effort. And just like a serpent traps its prey, this is how a narcissist traps its victim, beginning with love bombing and the push and pull method. As I stated, narcissistic people are master manipulators, especially when it comes to relationships. As soon as they trap you in a relationship, that's where the abuse begins. It could be psychological, emotional, and physical, or all of the above. Here's one of the first manipulation techniques they do to dehumanize you. Intimidation. Narcissists tend to be bullies. They try to get what they want through verbal, psychological, or emotional brute force. Another manipulation technique they're known for using is gaslighting. Narcissists will deny what you know to be true in an attempt to destabilize you. For example, let's say you're a woman and your boyfriend is a narcissist, and you notice that he gets text messages from other girls, and you catch him flirting through text messages with other girls. However, they will insist you are imagining things. They will deny all evidence to the contrary. The longer this gaslighting goes on, the more self-doubt you may feel about your perceptions. Because of gaslighting, you might convince yourself that those were probably just his friends or cousins, and that there's nothing serious going on. Another technique they love using is dehumanization. Much like authoritarian regimes, narcissists classify others as inferior, unworthy, or evil to justify oppressing or attacking them. They may devalue you through dismissive remarks or hostile humor, or treat you as others, seeking to make you feel subhuman and alone. Another technique they love using in relationships is exaggeration. Narcissistic personality disorder is characterized by distorted views of self, others, and the world. Given narcissists' tendencies towards grandiosity, exaggerating is second nature to narcissists. Thus, narcissists' looks, accomplishments, and possessions are greatest, perfect, and the best. Narcissists also love playing the victim. A narcissist will often play the victim after engaging in harmful or vengeful behaviors, turning any sympathy and attention onto themselves. They might do so by saying that they were the ones who were hurt or manipulated, and not the real victim. Due to their convincing nature and projection, they can be quite convincing and often have outsiders confused as to what the truth is. When someone is unable to handle their negative feelings or acknowledge their own bad behaviors, they may project them onto someone else. An example of this is you catching your spouse cheating, and they tell you that you're making things up, you're imagining things, and then they might say something like, "I think you're actually cheating because of how paranoid you are." And this is evident in many romantic relationships in the form of accusing a partner of cheating when in fact they are the ones being unfaithful. And the final dark psychological manipulation technique I want to talk about that narcissists love to use, and that is guilt tripping. When someone tries to get you to do something because you feel bad for them, they are guilt tripping you. This behavior can be difficult to recognize, especially if you don't know the person well or have not been exposed to this form of manipulation before. However, a narcissist will often use this tactic to convince others not to do something or relinquish control over a certain situation. For example, let's say you get in a relationship with a narcissist and you tell them that you have boundaries, such as wanting to wait till marriage before you have a sexual relationship with them. However, what a narcissist will do is guilt trip you. They will say things like, "You must not love me because you don't want to have sex with me right now." So the victim ends up feeling guilty and gets manipulated into doing what the narcissist wants. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys these dark psychological manipulation techniques is so that you can spot it happening in your own relationships, but also able to spot it in other people's relationships, such as your friends and your family. Because as the Bible says, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. And if you don't want to be deceived by a serpent, you have to be as wise as one and understand their deceptive manipulation techniques. Now, I fully believe that narcissism comes from a very dark source. We're not dealing with flesh and blood, but we're dealing against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness in this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So I believe when dealing with a narcissist, you're not necessarily just dealing with the person itself, but you are dealing with the source of his narcissism. Evil spirits in high places who have dominion over their thoughts and hearts. Have you guys ever heard the saying that when the devil can't get you, he sends a narcissist? It's not a biblical saying, but it's rooted in truth. If you look at the character of demons in which they operate, or more so, Satan himself, with fallen angels and demons being followers executing his will. You'll see it's the same as a narcissist. Selfish, prideful, without natural affection, never deviate from their bottom line despite how their actions and behaviors destroy anyone that gets close enough to them to be a major supply. They create doubt, chaos, double-mindedness. They are liars, truce breakers. They're thieves and will never willingly take on accountability for their actions or be repentive. They do not regret their behavior, and they only have two tactics to make you do what they want: manipulation and blunt force. As the Bible says, the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. A narcissist comes to do the same thing. Narcissistic individuals have led people to hurting themselves and even unaliving themselves. Narcissists are known to be extremely violent and even kill people. A narcissist will steal your joy and zest for life. They will steal your trust and also steal your peace. And finally, a narcissist will destroy you and everything around you, your relationships, your trust, your entire life. So just like evil spirits, as the Bible says, come to kill, steal, and destroy, a narcissist does the same thing: kill, steal, and destroy. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Again, as the Bible says, don't be ignorant of the devil's devices, be as wise as a serpent, and be sober and vigilant, because the devil is like a lion waiting for somebody to devour. Again, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope this was fruitful. If you would like to support this channel, I do have a Patreon. The link is in the bio below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Till next time.